This is indeed a very special occasion, not just because this webinar is being organized jointly by Guwahati, Ranchi, Silchar and Calcutta Management Associations, but more importantly, we have today the honor and privilege of having the presence of five very distinguished academicians as our guest speakers. We welcome you all, sirs. All of us are aware by now what COVID-19 has done to our lives and what it is expected to do further in future. The pandemic has led to a quickest reorganization of the world order in many respects, and the education sector is no different. Almost 1.5 billion students have been affected globally due to this pandemic, leading to a large-scale shift from campus coaching to online teaching. So, is blended learning going to be the new norm? And what about employability? These and many related issues are what we would expect to hear from our honored speakers today. The format of this evening's programs is this. Before Professor Banerjee takes over and initiates the discussion, I will request Mr. Chiranjit Chalia, Vice President, Guwahati Management Association, Dr. Sushil Kumar, Joint Secretary, Ranchi Management Association, Mr. I.B. Ubadia, President, Silchar Management Association, and Mrs. Zina Bose, Member of the Executive Committee, Calcutta Management Association, to say a few words on their associations, on their respective associations, and to also have the honor of formally introducing the Honorable Vice Chancellors from their region. For the convenience of keeping to our time schedule, our earnest request to all to please restrict their remarks and introduction within the 4 minutes as stipulated. We will now start by requesting Mr. Chalia to say his introductory remarks about Guwahati Management Association and also to introduce the Vice Chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, please.
A little clarification. I am not a Vice President. I am an advisor to Guwahati Management Association. Last year only I was Vice President. Okay.
My apologies, sir. Sorry.
It's all right. At the outset, I would like to thank the Calcutta Management Association, the host of this today's meet, for giving Guwahati Management Association, whom I am representing now, it's an opportunity to speak a few words in the midst of this galaxy of eminent educationist academicians. Really a privilege for us to do that. Before I just start the introduction of Dr. Amarjyoti Choudhury, I'd like to say a few words about Guwahati Management Association. Incidentally, Guwahati Management Association, in short GMA, which was established in 1970, is in the midst of celebrating its golden jubilee year. We have started the celebration last year. We have started the celebration last year by having a mega event, SYMP, that is a Shaping Young Minds program, which was held in Shillong, which was inaugurated by the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma. It was a very successful event. About 950 students from northeastern region have participated in it, delegates. And then we had a flurry of events after that, even then MSME convention. And we had we organized various other seminars on burning and important topics of the day, cybercrime, MSME, conventions, lots of other things. I'll not take much time, but we were about to celebrate another mega event, that is 6th Regional Management Convention with the collaboration of All India Management Association in March. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation, we have to cancel it. Now, back to my introduction of Dr. Amarjyoti Choudhury. As you know, he is one of the multi-talented, most eminent educationist academician from Assam. He is, apart from his present assignment as the Vice Chancellor of Downtown University, before that he was the Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University, Pro Vice Chancellor of the Tezpur Central University. Then he was a Vice Chancellor of the University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. He is a renowned educationist, as I said before. He is a multi-talented person. He is a scientist, actor, playwright, poet, reciter, novelist. He is and after all, he is a great orator. He had a brilliant academic career, topping the high school living examination, topping that board examination, and then he obtained his master's degree from Guwahati University, and then his doctorate from Oxford University in nuclear physics. Now he started his teaching career from Jorhat Engineering College, then Cotton College, Beach Pilani, and then Tezpur University. He has been a visiting professor to European Laboratory for Nonlinear Spectroscopy and Nuclear Science Center, New Delhi. Under his guidance, 20 scholars received doctorate degrees. It has been a pleasure to introduce to you all the eminent academician, Dr. Amarjyoti Choudhury. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chalia. We are still awaiting Dr. Choudhury to join in this platform.
He will join here itself in my place. I'll just give him my chair.
Okay, sir.
He could not.
And now, may I request?
Yes, he is here now.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Choudhury, thank you so much. It's a pleasure and privilege having you with us.
Thank you so much.
Now, may I request Dr. Sushil Kumar, Joint Secretary, Ranchi Management Association, to say a few words and then formally introduce Dr. A.K. Srivastava, Vice Chancellor, RKDF University, Ranchi.
Thank you very much. Very good evening to everybody, to all distinguished guests and honorable members of all the management associations, MSME people, participants. I, Dr. Sushil Kumar, General Secretary of Ranchi Management Associations, on behalf of Ranchi Management Associations, welcomes our distinguished guests and our today's the guest speaker on the panel discussion, Dr. A.K. Srivastava. As Ranchi Management Association was established in 1973, and you know that Jharkhand is blessed with 45% natural resources and a large number of enterprises under the central government, state government, even the private enterprises in the private sector also doing a lot of industrial activities. So Ranchi Management has been carrying a very active role in promoting advanced management practices and inculcating the entrepreneurial culture in the state of Jharkhand among the MSME sector. So Dr. A.K. Srivastava, he did his BVSC, Bachelor of Veterinary Science from Ranchi Veterinary College, 1975. And then he did his Master of Veterinary Science from Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Bareilly, UP, in 1977. And in then he PhD he did from the Birsa Agriculture University, Ranchi. He was awarded with the Indian Council of Agriculture Research a lot of merit scholarship and fellowship during his Master of Veterinary Science and PhD period. He joined in 1973, he joined as a veterinary college in Mao, Jabalpur, as an assistant professor. And then in 1980, he joined as a Ranchi University, Ranchi Veterinary College as an assistant professor. He served 38 years as a university professor cum chief scientist, Department of Livestock Production and Management. He also worked as the chairman of Hero Department, Dean of Ranchi Veterinary College, Ranchi, and he was also a director of students' welfare. He, under him, 12 students did his Master of Veterinary Science and 1 PhD, and his articles were published in so many national, international magazines and periodicals. And he attended a large number of seminars, workshops, symposiums, and he was also a member of selection committee in Jharkhand Public Service Commission. And he is also a member of Veterinary Council of India and Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi. He superannuated on 31st January 2018 And right now he is a Vice Chancellor of RKDF University at Ranchi. So I welcome Dr. A.K. Srivastava on behalf of Ranchi Management Association to give his valuable sessions and ideas during the panel discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, and welcome, sir, Dr. A.K. Srivastava, Honorable Vice Chancellor of RKDF University, Ranchi. May I now request Mr. I.B. Ubhadia, President, Silchar Management Association, to say a few words about his association and now thereafter to formally introduce Dr. Dilip Chandra Nath, Vice Chancellor, Assam University, Silchar. Mr. Ubhadia, please. Mr. Ubhadia, you have to unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. Good evening to everybody. Hello. I'm audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
Silchar Management Association was established on 21st February 2008. I was the founder president, Professor Apurvananda Majumdar was secretary, and Anand Charan Swain was the treasurer then. Our office is situated at Assam University, Silchar. It is now my proud privilege to welcome and introduce Professor Dilip Chandra Nath. Beside an academician, he is a very good human being, very humble and mild-mannered. My association with him started from May 2016 when he took charge of Assam University as Vice Chancellor. He was head of Statistics Department, Guwahati University, immediately before he took over charge of Assam University. He took training from national as well as international institutes. He is a PhD research guide since 1987. Dr. Nath completed 14 research projects in collaboration with national and international institutes and contributed 190 research papers. His research papers got wide publications in reputed international journals. Professor Nath traveled many countries to learn and teach and organize many conferences, seminars, workshops, etc. Today, he will enlighten audience on catalyzing change in education, the essence of future readiness. Welcome, Professor Nath.
Thank you, Mr. Ubhadia. And welcome, sir, again, Dr. Dilip Chandra Nath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Assam University, Silchar. Now I request Mrs. Ina Bose, member of the Executive Committee of Calcutta Management Association, to say a few words about CMA and thereafter to formally introduce Dr. Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay, who incidentally is stuck up in a very urgent and sudden assignment, but he will be joining a little late, maybe in another 10 minutes time. Mrs. Bose, please. Mrs. Bose, kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Let me extend a hearty welcome from Calcutta Management Association. And before we start, let me introduce briefly CMA, our very own Calcutta Management Association, which happens to be one of the oldest management associations in the country. It was founded in 1957 under the pioneering leadership of Sir Jahangir Gandhi, the then director in charge of Tata Iron and Steel Company. CMA is affiliated to All India Management Association. It has always taken the lead in creating a platform for the management community where relevant and contemporary management ideas can be discussed and debated. Over the years, CMA has organized a series of path-breaking conferences, meets, workshops, and interactive sessions. And lately, we are now organizing a number of webinars. Now let me introduce Professor Dr. Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay. He would be joining us a little later. Professor Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay is currently the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sister Nivedita University, Kolkata, since January 2020. He was the founder, Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Kolkata from 2015 to 2019. Professor Chattopadhyay was the Dean, Faculty of Science at the Calcutta University from 2003 to 2007. He was the Pro Vice Chancellor at the Calcutta University from 2008 till 2015. He was also the director at the Center for Research in Nanoscience and Nanotechnology at the university from 2007 till 2015. Professor Chattopadhyay has a research experience of more than 33 years. During his research career, he had visited numerous places in India and abroad. Dr. Chattopadhyay had been to Roche Institute of Molecular Biology in New Jersey, USA, as a visiting postdoctoral fellow, as visiting project scientist to the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. He has been to Stowers Research Institute, Kansas City, USA, at the University of Texas, to Nihon University and Hosei University, both in Japan. He is the recipient of numerous awards, accolades, and distinctions, which include the Young Scientist Award in 1989, member of Guwahati Research Conference, Professor Umakant Sinha Memorial Award, Fellow of the National Academy of Science, recipient of the prestigious UNESCO IUMS MIRCENS SGM Fellowship to carry out research under the Department of Biochemistry at the University of Texas. Professor Chattopadhyay was a Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences and Fellow of West Bengal Academy of Science and Technology, to name a few. Dr. Chattopadhyay has lifetime memberships in various organizations and scientific associations like Indian Science Congress Association, member of the Asiatic Society, member of Biotechnology Society, member of Virological Society, and so on. Above all, Professor Chattopadhyay is a wonderful teacher with a teaching experience of more than 35 years, during which many students have completed their PhDs successfully under his able guidance, and has brought fame and glory to themselves as well as to the country. Professor Chattopadhyay has around 130 research papers and 6 book chapters to his credit till date. Thank you, Mr. Ramin Borua. We'll later on listen from Dr. Chattopadhyay. Till then, I hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bose. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to apologize to you all because Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee, the immediate past president of Calcutta Management Association, who was supposed to moderate the session, has been unable to join, log into Zoom because of certain technical difficulties. So I have the rather unenviable or difficult task of proxying for him, but which I'm not really capable of, not to substitute a person of his eminence. But nonetheless, we will start the panel discussion. All of you are aware of the topic for this evening's discussion, which is catalyzing change in education, the essence of future readiness. In my introductory remarks, we had indicated that what exactly we are looking forward to hearing from these eminent speakers this evening. Every one of us are aware or is aware about the changes that are undergoing in this world, especially in the education sector, and what are the changes that are likely to come and that students are likely to face. To start with, I will request Dr. Amarjyoti Choudhury, Vice Chancellor of Assam Downtown University, Guwahati, to please address the viewers. The only request is that I will request each one of the speakers to possibly limit their address within 7 or 8 minutes, so that we can have enough time to take the panel discussion further on a discussion mode, and thereafter to take a few questions from the viewers. The viewers are requested to put their questions in the chat box, from which we'll probably will not be able to take on all the questions that that will be forthcoming. But we'll try to call out the questions and then place it to the eminent speakers for their responses. Dr. Choudhury, please. Dr. Choudhury, kindly unmute yourself. Yes.
Now?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay. So thank you so much because I'm very privileged to be speaking on this learned platform where management associations of various cities in Assam and West Bengal have joined together to concentrate on this idea of future readiness in terms of education. There's a correction at the beginning. I was told that I'm the Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University. I'm a former Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University. Currently, I'm the Vice Chancellor of Assam Downtown University. Now, to come to the point, if we think about education, we have seen that there are two outcomes, basically. We can say that it has two basic outcomes. One is the present readiness, that is readiness for the present, and the other one is the readiness for the future. This is what education aims at. When we say readiness for present, it means readiness for doing the present requirements. For example, the needs of the society. For example, a plumber, a welder, a thinker, all these different things we need for the present, and also for future we need certain things. And today's our discussion is to concentrate on future readiness, how to bring about changes that will bring about future readiness. Now, we already know that in our civilization, human civilization in particular, have developed a great institution called teacher. And teachers have been able to bring in within the four walls of the classroom, they were able to bring in the outside world as well as the intricacies of the inner world. And that is why they were so successful. And through their words, to their drawings, to their gestures, they would bring the entire world into the classroom. And that is the essence of all teaching. However, we have seen during the COVID-19 aggression, our pandemic, that we have seen that things have changed. Suddenly, the classroom teaching had come to a grinding halt. And then there were discussions, and then there were attempts to bring in digital platforms, various digital platforms, starting with mobile phones, and then the proper digital platforms, then also other forms like television and radio. All these have gathered together, which we have collectively said that it is the blended system, and the blended system has worked. Now, if we come back to the concept of the future readiness, even the earlier system of education, where teacher is the main thing, classroom education is the main thing, there was some spontaneous kind of thing for this arrangement. For example, I would like to recall a story from our classroom when I was a student, that one of the teachers who was supposed to teach geography, he came and he brought a small gramophone to the class once. And he was teaching the map of Europe, and he was talking about Budapest, and he said that Buda and Pest are two cities joined together by the Blue River Danube. And he also said that Johann Strauss composed a piece of music called Blue Danube, and which he played in this gramophone. And that was a very electrifying experience for all of us. And we still remember why I'm saying this. This is the kind of thing that, and he said, this teacher continuously used to say that we have to, that is the earlier teachers, they had to confine themselves within the state or in the country. But they were saying, pointing to us, they would say that we are preparing you for the world. That is why you have to know the world. And that is how he brought in this idea of bringing this musical piece. I think that was the first essence of bringing music, the future readiness. Now, if we think about the future readiness, what do we basically desire? We require, what are the changes that we require? We require changes in syllabus, where there will be a component for future readiness. For example, if someone studies physics or biology, there should be some component which will look up to the frontiers of the world and look up to the world. And also there will be some portions where there will be self-reading, which will be very useful in situations like this. Some portions which will be marked at the beginning. So these, basically, we need someone who can anticipate the future, a thinking man like Roda's, that sculpture, which we see, Auguste Roda's sculpture called The Thinker. And there we actually need thinkers who can anticipate future and bring in these changes. For example, what are the areas where there are likely to be more job demands? If we think about the present situation, we can immediately say that health sector is like a new IT sector. This is because there will be immense possibilities or immense job demands in this sector, because this is the area which is going to be strengthened. Then we also need data scientists, for example. We need data scientists because they have to project the future. We have to know the future and only anticipate the future in terms of the data, and then we can bring in the changes that are necessary for this. So basically, we need a thinking person. Yes, the automation will help, but teachers cannot be replaced, because these are the teachers who bring in this thinking, academic community who bring in this thinking into the system. And in this process, they catalyze the changes which will prepare students to be future ready, so that they can address the situations wherever there is a problem like this, say this pandemic, how to address, what are the steps to be taken. So this is the idea that yes, the blended system will be there. It is fortifying our earlier system, but the automation is not everything. There should also be thinking coming into it. And that is why we cannot replace teachers. This should be a collective effort of classroom teaching and all the blended system. And together, we can bring in changes in the education system, which will be useful for the society and which will be able to bring in new ideas, new concepts for catalyzing the changes in the education system. I think I would like to end here, because more or less I have covered 7-8 minutes, unless the anchor asks me again. So I would like to end here with this positive note.
Thank you, Dr. Choudhury. And my apologies for mentioning you as a Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University.
No, not at all, not at all.
You had rightly mentioned quite a few important areas, like if I may just mention, like healthcare sector is going to be the new quote unquote IT sector for India. And also that despite the present situation and the shift from classroom teaching to online teaching, the role of teachers can never be replaced. The role of teachers in the field of education will remain as important as it is today. I now request Dr. Dilip Chandra Nath, Vice Chancellor, Assam University, Silchar, to please address the audience and
sir, before, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. I'm Anirban Bhattacharya, General Manager of Calcutta Management Association. Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee has joined our session.
okay.
So if
sure,
with the permission, if we can.
Sir, Professor Banerjee. Professor Banerjee. Okay, now Mr. Professor Dilip Chandra Nath, Vice Chancellor, Assam University, Silchar. Sir, if you may kindly address the viewers.
Namaskar. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Surely.
Good evening to everybody. I must extend my thanks to Calcutta Management Association and Silchar Association, who invited me to join here to this panel discussion. There are very distinguished speakers like Professor Choudhury, Professor Srivastava, Chattopadhyay, and other persons present here. Professor Choudhury was my colleague once. We are teaching in Guwahati University. I think he outlined the basic things. Definitely, COVID has, affected our life, and specifically the students' life. We have to take care of them. Now, as we are talking about the readiness, I was thinking that, basically we have to take care of the short term, the near future, as well as the long future. The near future means how to overcome this situation. This is a great difficulty for us. Can we go for examination, or can we have some other means, as the EG suggested us, the past performance like internal assessment or examinations. These are problems, and things are changing in every day. And a lot of questions from the students, society is coming to us, and we are in a very difficult situation. Specifically when we have number of affiliated colleges, when only the PG course in the campus, the things are easier. Now, suddenly we cannot change the system, very difficult to go to the online teaching. The Indian higher education is expanding like anything. When we got the independence, about 20 universities, now it is 1,000 of universities, and we need more expansion. This is a challenge, and the challenge is the excellence, challenge is the equity, challenge is the employability. So our new education policy actually framed looking into this, and they did not take care. The COVID will come, and we have to change our, the new education policy. Possibly we have to change, we have to address it. And you see, as he was talking, about the public health, we have to take care of public health as well, definitely, because our public health situation exposed like anything. We have only 1.25% of GDP spent on the public health, and in the higher in the education is only 3.45. See, if we address the present, I already talked about, but future, we need some infrastructure development. See, the net connectivity is, how many is reachable with the net? Only 27% in the urban areas, and only 5% are reachable through net. So if we go for the online education system, we have to improvise the situation. We improvise the situation, we have to improvise the connectivity, the electricity problem, bandwidth is a problem. So we are not ready right now. It will take some time. We have to have infrastructure development, basically. And Professor Choudhury is mentioning the blending type, the ICT-enabled classroom should be there. I say the flipped classroom concept, basically. The teacher can give the material to study at home. They can make video. And then they come to the classroom, and then we discuss the problem, the issues. Now, near future, what we are talking about this, we may lose a semester about how to cover it up. That's the question. Maybe next semester, we have to teach online. I think so. Otherwise, we have to lose the, about a year even. So, every day things are changing. I'm telling about that. So what to do, we don't have a very clue. But future, definitely, we are blending the flipped classroom concept. We have go to that. Already EGC has told that 25% course should be in the online system in future. But this semester, I don't know, maybe we have to go the 100%, but for science course, the practical matters. Practical is a problem, what to do about the practical. But I think situation will be not, last long. The clouds may be there, but ultimately sun will come out. And but initial stage, we are facing problem. We have to look kind of vaccine or medicine, possibly we can overcome it. But future education will be definitely change with the blending type. That's I think can be solved. But face-to-face teaching should be there. It will be there. Otherwise, you don't get flavor. Definitely, you cannot have a contact person to person. We cannot learn everything. But immediate solution with the online, and there is no other way. I think so. And another thing is also for us. See that we have to increase the infrastructure. That is what I told earlier. Even the infrastructure, if we do not develop our infrastructure, then there is a digital divide in the country. Those who are having facility, like IITians or IIMs, those are very elite class of students there, basically. They may manage some way, but the university colleges like ours, the students are coming for very deep hill areas where connectivity is not there. So we have to think about that. If we go for the complete online or something like, the country will be again digital divide, and the equity will be get lost. So I hope with this we can discuss more. Some questions might arise. I able to answer. I'm facing day in day out lot of problems in the university campus, because of students are in the hostels. Few students are in hostel. If we open the university, how students will come? So these are a lot of problems keeping in, and due course definitely we will solve. We are waiting for the guidelines of the UGC. Accordingly, definitely we will proceed. Thank you all. Hello.
Yes, we all have the pleasure of welcoming Professor Ashok Banerjee, the immediate past president of Calcutta Management Association, who will be moderating the session. Professor Banerjee, sir.
Yeah, thank you, and my apologies to each one of you, because we had a broadband problem in our area. So I am actually now using a mobile set. So in case I am not audible, please excuse me. But so many honorable vice chancellors are here. In fact, I'm not going to be. I'm going to only the Sutradhar. But one point that I have realized from my colleague in Silchar is that we have to improve on infrastructure. I totally agree. And the first speaker was highlighting on IT knowledge, IT exposure. I totally agree with both the points. And now may I request my colleague, our colleague from Ranchi, to please address. Sir, if you could kindly address, sir. Dr. Srivastava. May I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor from Ranchi to kindly address the audience, please.
He has just unmuted himself. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening to everybody. I am very much thankful to Kolkata Management Association, Silchar Association, Ranchi Management Association for calling me or for giving me opportunity to participate in this discussion. The today topic is very much interesting, particularly in today's scenario. The topic, as you know, the catalyzing challenges in education, the essence of future readiness. The lockdown period from 23rd March 2020 and impact of the COVID-19 have created a lot of confusion and uncertainty on normal life of people, what they were leading before that. The present prevailing situation has retarded almost all social and economic activities, not only in India, but also in the world. The education sector is also being adversely affected since no entrance test for admission in different courses and fields have yet taken place. Hence, new as well as present sessions are going to be delayed. Social distancing, in other words, physical distancing, work from home, and self-isolation are changing the mindset and the styles of the people. The changes likely to take place may be as follows. Average per capita income will be reduced, unemployment will increase, digitalization will rapidly be done by the organization and individuals. Corporate business will emphasize on marketing maximum use of new technology. Robotic technology will be widely used by the organization. Unorganized economy will be transferred into organized economy. Demand will be generated with new taste and flavor. Companies will change their business strategies to cater the changed demands accordingly. Traditional management practices will be shattered. Physical distancing, also called social distancing, will continue. Work from home culture will increase. Consumption pattern will also change. The change may also take place in the education, such as a large number of students in a classroom will be discouraged, as a result of which attendance in classes or classroom will reduce. Incompetent faculties will have tough time to remain in their profession. Students with higher efficiency and proficiency will be recruited by the corporate houses. In innovative and creative management skills and the knowledge will be required. Work from home will become prevalent. Students will have to be more and more friendly with social media tools. Study materials will have to be made available on the line. online responsibilities and tasks may be assigned or allocated to the teachers. Supporting staff may also be made more acquainted with the new tools and technology. Safety and security measures should also be taken with electronic devices. In present education system in the country is needed to be evaluated and examined on the following lines, such as decent and gainful employment. Decent and gainful employment. For this, the university or colleges will have to provide quality education so that the students may survive in the competitive market. Expenditure in education. This should be increased to meet the demand for creating or providing the new technology for the students and for the society. Gross environment pattern GEP should be increased so that more colleges, more universities may be opened to cater the need of the present situation or the admission of the students. Capacity utilization. This is also most important aspect, keeping in view that the seats allotted to the different organization must be filled up so that the organization may be able to maintain the GEP of 30%, which is required for the development. The infrastructure facilities should be provided that the students may be attracted of the country as well as of the international or the foreign. Parents-teacher ratio should also be maintained as per the advice of the organizations to maintain the efficiency or the proficiency of the teaching in among the students. The education should be based on skilling India. Actually, much more emphasis on the skilling India, digital India, and make in India movements. One of the most powerful things in life, it allows us to find the meaning behind everything and helps to improve lives in massive way. Education is the platform that makes it possible to defeat all barriers, whatever it may be in the life. Education should not be provided only just to provide him, makes them capable enough to become global entrepreneurs and the business leaders. These are the aspects which should be considered in today's scenario for providing better and good education to the students and which will be very much useful for the society in future. That's all. This is and I again thank to all the members or the learned people attending or hearing or listening this panel discussion. Thank you so much, sir.
Indeed, thankful, sir. Sir, as you have told, there have been three takeaways from there. First is GEP, which I very strongly believe we in India must follow that. Number two is the social media is very important. And number three, how do we bring everybody in the mainstream so we have an inclusive growth and we have in the process do multi-skilling and multitasking for our student community. We are a vast country of 1.3 billion population. And even if we take we are the world's youngest group of young people. So I think India has got tremendous things to offer. So I think your Make in India concept will be holding a lot of this thing. Now, may I request our colleague from Calcutta, Dr. Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay, who has entered, if you could kindly be introduced, and then Dr. Chattopadhyay be also be speaking for a few minutes, please. Then we'll have a panel chat. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Dr. Chattopadhyay.
Professor Banerjee, I have already introduced Dr. Chattopadhyay. Do you want me to
because he has entered? I saw him because we had a
introduce him again?
Let Dr. Chattopadhyay start his address.
Yeah, let him
Okay,
kindly
thank
start
you.
his address.
Thank you.
Yeah, sir, please.
Good evening, everybody, and I thank all the three these associations, management associations, for identifying a topic which is very, very relevant today. You know that being a student of chemistry, this word catalyst is a very important thing for me. What catalyst used to do that you have reactants, and you have product, and reactants to product, you will get a reaction. And this reaction normally takes place slowly. If you add catalyst, it will be really fast, and you can get the product faster. Now, the COVID-19 situation, I look this particular challenge of the pandemic as an opportunity for us to actually catalyze this traditional education, which is there for a long period of time and could not change into the blended form. And that particular thing is going to be catalyzed really by this situation. Now, when I said the blended form, naturally it has got the concept of, as Professor Nath already mentioned, regarding this online and offline combination. And there are discipline to discipline, it will vary. The disciplines which has got practicals, there it will be of different nature, because there the practicals are absolutely based on the on-hand experiences. Now, in all these particular cases, the most important thing I consider is a change in our mindset. And the mindset of the teachers, mindset of the students, and the mindsets of the parents. All these three stakeholders, they have to change, because otherwise always we'll find the difficulties. Now, if we change our mindset by this particular type of catalyzing the reaction to the towards a blended education, we will find that we can easily identify what are the major problem and then try to resolve those problem issues. And for resolving those problem issues, already the government at the central level and the state level, they are already started planning on it. The second thing is that it is not that just taking the internet to all the different corners of our country, to remote corners, to remote villages. Not only that, but have a bandwidth which will be really, really sufficient for supporting this online thing. And the third thing is that even if you don't have the internet, even if you don't have the mobile data, because sometimes the internet is not there. And as Professor, our moderator mentioned, that because of the problem in the internet, in our place also, we are having the line disconnect, line problem, and I am using the mobile data. So sometimes this mobile connection is also not going to be there. So how we can proceed to that? And really, the scientists and the technologists, they are thinking about developing or making a process which are going to be independent of this, but still you can get this information transferred to the remotest corner using the artificial intelligence. So the creativity is also another important aspect which will help us to go to that particular direction. The problem of digital divide can only be resolved by actually application of this. One is a financial support. Second is our creativity to get independent of all the different types of problems which we normally facing. And third is actually changing our mindset. Going to the next step, what I find that when we talk about this blended education, this offline education always have a huge importance in the life history of any particular student-teachers relationship. Because in the online education, the information as well as the different interactions, assignments, the quiz, everything can go on parallelly to make it a vibrant class. But sometimes the students need special care with respect to certain topics, and those things can only be taken care when they are going to be meet with their teacher offline and get it cleared from them. So tutorial at the level of offline will definitely supplement this particular online form. And thereby, we have to understand that today, when we are talking about this education 4.0, one of the major struggle for us is actually to unlearn a lot of things which we have learned so far and have the mentality to relearn. So this unlearn and the relearn process has to be done in such a way so that it will be really beneficial for the society itself. The next thing I always find during this last 3 months that our hesitation, because we are not so much computer savvy, we are not so much tech savvy of our generation, but the new generation and the young generation, they're so much tech savvy. For them, it is not at all a problem to opt for this particular mode. And they're very excited about it and they're getting into it very well. And they are coming up with different types of solutions. You know that when the interactive sessions I have met with the students, I find that it is very easy to find out their response, that which particular lecture they like, which they don't like, why they don't like. All these things are actually right now coming up. So more interaction is also there. And particular part of this particular online using the quiz and assignment along with our education is really helping them in a very big way. So these positive things has to be taken up. UGC is trying to get it done. ICT is trying to get it done for a long period. But what we could find that though we have the NPTEL, though we have the SWAYAM, though we have the Pathshala scheme of UGC, this is not really very much well implemented at different parts of the country. And this is a situation where we can utilize it fully, which is a gold mine, and we can get a huge amount. So a college in a remote village, they will get an opportunity also to be associated with the best type of lessons and teachings. They can get it in the recorded form, in the form of email or any other offline mode also. So these things we have to keep in our mind. So that is what I want to actually put forward before all of you. This is something which is very important that we have to look at it completely. And I find that in the chat box, somebody already mentioned about the 180-degree rotation of this particular our attitude and the way of our teaching. And this is very, very important. So we have to think about our curricula. The curricula should be very, very well defined and well neatly planned. We have to actually identify the area where we should get that the students are going to understand the opportunities in the particular course. And there are new courses which are coming up. All these things should be put forward before our parents also. So all these things are very important right now. And I would just like to tell you that education always helps us to go ahead and never be the slave of the past. And that's what we have to do. In our teaching pedagogy, when it started in the ancient time, when we started with the Advaita, we started with the Prachuranta, those things are actually right now in its real sense can be practiced, and we can really get it in a very nice way. With these few words, I shall look forward to the questions during our panel discussion. Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Professor Banerjee, sir.
Professor Banerjee, his microphone is mute, so he has to unmute it.
His network is again gone a little slow, so probably he is out of the network, I understand.
Yeah, so can we move
So,
on?
meanwhile, Anirban, since you have taken the questions from the chat box, you can just read out the question. So, and either Dr. Nath or Dr. Chattopadhyay can respond to those questions.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'll just take up the questions. There are two questions which have come up till now. Three, in fact. I'll just read them one by one. The first one is from Mr. Rajiv Mondal. It's a longish one. I'll try to put it short. As Dr. Chattopadhyay was telling, I think we need to change the direction of our education by 180 degrees. All
Actually,
education should.
I already have seen this from the chat box. I answered this also.
Fine.
So
is there anyone who wants to?
On to the next.
Fine. The next question is, average universities and colleges have never prepared themselves for confronting situation like this. In fact, building up virtual classroom facilities at the college and university level were the demand of the hour, which most of us failed to take into consideration. This was asked by Dr. Amit Das.
Dr. Nath can take this question, sir, if you please.
Yeah, the virtual classroom facility we have to provide, it makes investment and it can be done. It's like our university, some department have the facilities. So it is not a very big amount needed. A camera, basically 2 cameras and the board basically, and the recording will be done. So it is a simple thing, but it needs some investment. That's why I'm telling that, our higher education investment is only 1% of the GDP. So we need more money in such situation, infrastructure development. Then it's not a problem in that case. So mindset can be ready anytime. Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else who wants, if anyone wants to answer this question, Dr. Chattopadhyay or Dr. Srivastava?
Professor Nath has taken care of this question.
Fine. There's one more question coming up from Mr. Partho Dotto. While we are going on for online education, how to reach the poor students at the farthest corner of the country?
Should I answer? Yeah, this is a real problem. Definitely, I told the infrastructure, or maybe, we have some bandwidth is a problem. I mentioned earlier, Professor Chattopadhyay also mentioned bandwidth is a problem. And reaching the poor people, we have to support them. There is no other way. We have to support them, providing some sort of either, laptop or a kind of, smartphone, something like that. Otherwise, no way out. We have to support them by fellowship. Only the bright students can be provided with fellowship. That can be done.
And also, that government already has taken the decision that in this, almost in all the remote villages, also they have some sort of libraries, and these libraries can make some like a computer center where the students can come at different times and can access these particular things, which are actually in the form of digital education. So the library can play a very important role, and if that particular libraries can be equipped with this IT infrastructure through the government funding, which is already there for the libraries, it has to be increased, and that may help quite a bit.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the center can be made.
Okay, proceeding on to the next question. It is from Mr. Monindranath Maitri. How do you arrange the online examination? Is there any plan that you have already made for this?
Yeah, let me tell. Again, the problem, online examination can be made. I discussed with many vendors, but again, the reachability is a problem. Specifically, those who are in the colleges, again, the reachability is one question. Otherwise, online, the system is possible. In fact, in my university, I am going to, design ourselves in our system, the online examination system, we are trying to develop it. But again, the reachability, maybe the PG students can be reachable because they are coming from little higher family or they have passed through graduation, so they know the system how to reach. But those in the very village, we have to develop the infrastructure, otherwise cannot be done. Very difficult.
So in our university, we have given the option to the students that, first of all, whether you like to sit for the online or the offline. And those who could not be able to give the online examination, they can come in the campus and we can have, maintaining all the WHO and ICMR norm, we can take their exams also. But these online exams are possible, and online proctored exams are also possible. You can really invigilate during this particular examination, and the systems are, AI-based systems are so, right now I can tell you, they are so strong that it is, even the student who is actually trying to cheat, everything will be recorded and there will be red buttons which will come up, and 3 times red buttons, he could not answer any more questions. All this proctored examination, and there are a number of vendors and others are there, and in itself in the open system also, open source system also, this proctoring of the examinations are also there. So online examination with proctoring can be done, and in that case, even the evaluation can be done in such a way so that you don't have to depend only on the multiple choice questions, but you can have the subjective questions also, which can be digitally transferred and could be marked by the faculty members. So yes, new innovations, new creativity is coming, and there are, for the long time, these type of things are there, but now it is time for us to really implement these things and do it and find it out what are the nitty-gritty problems of this particular type of examination. But yes, online examination, proctored online examinations are possible, and the students who could not afford to do that, for them to have the offline examination, it could be done.
Dr. Srivastava, would you like to add on to this? You are muted, sir. If you could kindly unmute yourself, Dr. Srivastava. Do you want to say something? I'll go on, proceed to the next question. Can AICTE approved institutions conduct end semester examinations in the month of July? Is it possible? Would anyone like to take this question?
See, already UGC, AICTE, both of them said that if any university not yet done this, they can actually don't have to take this and get the formula for how to actually get this final examination results out. And if the students are not satisfied with that examination, then later on, after the change in the situation a little bit better, they can sit for the examination to improve their results. So already in many of these engineering colleges, this examination, final examination is over. In certain cases, it is not over, and AICTE actually so far said that they can go ahead with this end semester examination, but now most probably it is coming up with the new things that those who have not done it, it's better not to take.
Should I proceed to the next question? The next question is, with digital education developing, do you think this will wipe off the relatively weaker education institutes out of the scene?
We have to make them strong. Those are weaker institutions, we have to provide the infrastructure. Government will support them to provide the infrastructure so they can join also there. And this phenomenon, we cannot, a long time we cannot go on the online education. It may be a 6 months or 7 months, but ultimately will be blending type of education.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Mr. Sharma. How to solve the admission issue to engineering and medical colleges for this year? Would anyone be able to answer this, please?
if anybody wants. Otherwise, I can tell that these particular things are basically the central bodies which conduct the examinations, and they are actually planned for the 26th July examination. But everybody is thinking about that the NEET examination will be cancelled again, and we have to see what actually going to be their decision for this entrance test. Because these are the bodies which has to take the decision. We cannot tell that what's going to happen with it. So, so far it is on, that examination will be there, but anytime looking at the trend and the large number of new infections coming up, a possibility is there there should be some other way of actually getting this particular test done.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to answer this question? I should proceed. The next question is aimed at Mr. Dr. Dilip Chandra, sir. It is from a student, I don't know, from a person called Gaurav Acharji. It is asked that what about the last semester students? Is
What
there any
about the last semester student means?
Examinations, I understand.
Examination. See, we are waiting for basically the MHRD AGC will come out with the directives, but we can go for even like, intermediate examinations like colleges. Already my university taken decision for colleges. We have given, GC guidelines, kind of a mixture with the internal assessment plus past performance. So in case we are not able to take physical examination, we'll go by that. Otherwise, there is no way out. We'll go by that actually. If the students cannot come to the campus, campus is not safe, and in the district authority not permit students to come, then we have to go like that only. There is no alternative way. We cannot lose the students here. So we are waiting for the government, advisory also. So maybe I think by the 10th July or so, this will be coming. Then we'll convene a meeting. Basically, all university will have to go like that if the physical examination is not possible at all. It is clear for you? Hello? It is a mute. No. It is
yeah. No. It's audible, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just take the last question. Just wanted to. This is from Devulina Bhattacharjee. She has written, I just wanted to know whether it is possible to take online exams where the justice would be provided to students according to their capabilities. Open to anyone, please.
It's a very interesting question. That if in the offline you can do the justice, why not in the online also?
Because there is a protection, they cannot copy it. Already, Vice Chancellor told that it is now well protected. Nobody can copy it. Nobody can cheat. The system is so developed, so it is an impossible thing. So if offline is good, then online is also good.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you, everyone. May I now request Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee to please.
Yeah, I think I will say a few words. Number one, three things I might take from this wonderful lecture. Number one, I must apologize that technology is not the all and be all and everything all, because we have to depend on the good old chalk and duster, chalk and talk. Number one. So offline education will have to be there. But in spite of that factor that we have now in a COVID situation, pandemics and all, so we have to be three eyes. Which are the three eyes that I feel what my learned colleagues have told? Number one, we have to be extremely innovative. Innovation is the first point that we must all be there. Innovation in everything, including the course curriculum, including the way we talk to the students, including offer our courses, the way we go to the online classes. We have to be very, very innovative. You have to relearn and you have to learn and relearn. I mean, if I may use the word as Dr. Chattopadhyay was telling. Number two is that we have to be very imaginative. Imagination is the most important thing. So we have to think of various other dimensions, because today some of my colleagues were talking of multi-skill and multitasking, because the education system which was prevalent earlier with only PCM, physics, mathematics and mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, those are over. In management also no more production management and all. I think public policy may come in a big manner, retail management may come in a big manner. So you have to consider those things. So you have to be very, very imaginative while designing course curriculum. And last, what I have understood, all of us must do introspection. As somebody has told, those who introspect, it was told by Dr. Kalam, those who dream the most do the most. We all have to be dreamers, so we can do not daydreaming, but we can do something for our country. So we have to be all good change agents, and those who change the max will be able to produce the maximum. India is we are on a very good wicket. I'm not looking at all the trillion, and I'm not looking at my economic situation and all the things. But my take from this wonderful lecture is that we have to be multi-skiller and multitasker. An Indian organization which employs the students of today, they will all be ready to face the challenges of tomorrow, and challenges will give them opportunities. So I'm sure, friends, if we get the challenge, I'm sure opportunities also will be there. India offers a land of opportunities, land of challenges. So I think with these few words, let me return to my president, Mr. Amitabh Dotto. Sir, Mr. Amitabh Dotto, sir, please.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Banerjee. At the outset, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellors of the universities who have kindly agreed to address us today. Dr. Dilip Chandra Nath of the Assam University, Silchar, Dr. Dhrubajyoti Chattopadhyay of the Sister Nivedita University, Kolkata, Dr. Amarjyoti Choudhury of the past Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University and the current Vice Chancellor of Downtown University, and Dr. Srivastava, Vice Chancellor, RKDF University, Ranchi. I would also like to thank Professor Banerjee for moderating and giving his concluding remarks. I would also, I'm grateful to the management associations of Silchar, Guwahati, and Ranchi. I'm sure we will have more opportunities of collaborating, and I really look forward to doing it in future. As far as today's deliberations were concerned, I think we were discussing one of the most important issues that face us today. All of us have either children or grandchildren or some of our young relatives studying somewhere, and I think one of the biggest problems that we face is trying to understand what is likely to happen in this highly uncertain environment. But one thing is for sure, that there's no uncertainty about the uncertainty in this universe at this point in time. So we are looking at various options. We are looking at digital options. I happen to run a small institute. We have switched to digital options. And we realize that it is, as Professor Choudhury mentioned, there is no substitute for that physical touch, the human touch. But then unfortunately, we have to make do with it till such time when hopefully things will get better, when hopefully we will have students back in our classrooms. Till then, we could possibly ensure that we do everything possible to ensure that our students do not miss the classrooms. So there is the responsibility to a large extent of the teachers, the educators, to try and ensure that the students per se do not miss their classrooms by providing them an experience almost similar to what they were used to when this was on process. I know it's a difficult task, and honestly, I don't think we have all the answers as of now. But as Professor Banerjee said, it was about innovation, trying to learn, relearn, and apply the learnings again and again. Anyway, thank you very much all of you for being with us today. We're grateful to you, and I'm sure we have opportunities of interacting in the future. Thank you very much on behalf of the Calcutta Management Association and our Secretariat. I would like to thank all of you once again for attending this seminar and also addressing the seminar and participating. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, sir. We are closing the session, but just for information in the chat box, There's a certificate come feedback link. Kindly copy the link, or you can go directly to the link to fill in the form. It's a small form. And after that, you will be receiving your certificate in your email ID. I'm also showing it on the screen for your kind reference. Kindly use this link to get your certificates. Thank you and a good day to all of you. Have a good day. Thank you. Logging off from Calcutta Management Association. Kindly check our Facebook page and the YouTube channel, which we update very regularly. And kindly become a member of CMA and also other associations of in the Eastern region, if possible. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Have a good day.